Okay, so the stream cut off when we were just getting into this notion of the spirit and the ba and bayet. Didn't realize the stream cut off until we're probably like maybe probably like 10 minutes. I had gone like 10 more minutes before and just finished it up, and then the stream cut off. So okay, so if you just joined on, if you were listening earlier, the last 10 minutes or so, maybe 10, 15 minutes, but I think about 10 minutes of the stream, it had cut off. I was still explaining the last portion, didn't realize the stream had cut off and so forth. So that portion was cut, but we're going to finish up that portion and then, you know, take some questions and answers and so forth. People might jump back on. We're going to go with it like that. So let me see, for example, if you were one of the people who are on, let me know in the chat room. All right. Okay, so we're going to get back into it. So where we left off is we were talking about the Ba and Bayat, the spirit, the divine living energy. So we were right here. So we're talking about the origin of the term spirit, and we started off reading this text and so forth from ancient Kamit, but we're talking about the nature of the spirit itself, the divine living energy animating us. So let's get back at that point. So in the text, when we talk about Ra and Ra'et, are the creator and creatress, that the divine living energy moving through all created entities, planets, sun, moon, stars, black substance of space, oceans, rivers, mountains, that the divine living energy, the great spirit animating creation. Now, the word for spirit, as far as divine living energy, solar fire, life force energy, and so forth, in ancient Kamit is Ba for males, Ba'et for females. So that solar energy within you, that life force energy within you, that divine living energy that animates you, that is your Ba if you're a male, Ba'et if you are a female. Since Ra and Ra'et are the divine living energy permeating all of creation, they are the great Ba and the great Ba'et. So you will see them. And the Ba bird is shown, as we said, as a bird with a bowl of burning incense with a flame arising, or the body of the bird, the head of the human being that the spirit, belongs to. Sometimes a bird with a solar disc on its head, but it's showing that as a bird, it's an animate, meaning winged, solar disc, fire, flame, a winged or animate fire. So your spirit is an animate fire within you that gives you life and ability to move and act and function and be conscious and so forth. That's the animate fire within you. So they show a bird for a male, bird is a female, and so forth. You see the male and female seated here, and their spirit, their body, and body in front of them. This is when they have transitioned and so forth. Spirit left the body. But your heart is like the breast of the bird. Your lungs are the folded down wings and so forth. And your head, of course, is your head. So you have a little bird inside of you. Your lungs expand and contract. That are the wings of the bird expanding and contracting and firing you up and fanning the flames of your life force energy. So you have a little Ba bird, a Ba bird within you. Now, this is the cosmological aspect of that and why that's important. Hold on a second. the term per in ancient Kamit, and also its corollary term seper is the origin of the term seperet, or spirit. So when the Aten, the sun, hold on a second, rises in the east, it is a coming forth and emergence of the solar orb and the fiery energy of the orb. It's a rebirth, a return. An explosion of energy, fire and light, the sun peaks above the horizon, there's an explosion of energy, and then it radiates across the landscape. Now, that's key. Same thing in the beginning of creation, when the explosion of Ra and Riot manifested within the black substance of space, and that energy radiated throughout the black substance, bringing illumination and fire and energy and so forth. Same thing happens every morning when the sun emerges from darkness and so forth and explodes on the scene, and then the energy radiates across the landscape and touches all of us. Now, the term per, which is the root of seper and seperet, spirit, in Kamit means to come forth. Per, to come forth. Peret, the noun form, means that which has come forth. You see per, so go out, go forth. Exit, issue, what comes forth. You see the little viper, horned viper snake coming out of the little earthen hole and so forth, coming forth. That's one way to acknowledge it. Another way to spell it is the two legs walking out and so forth, coming forth. This little symbol is like a house or a space, a sanctuary, and the two legs are coming out or coming forth and all of that. So nothing is wasted, as we said in Kamit. Just like rek, ra, is the sound vibration, ka, the black circle, the black substance of space, rek or REKHIT and so forth. Same thing here. Pa is explosive power. Ra is radiant or radiant power. So there's an explosion of energy, pa, and then a ra, a radiation of the energy and expanding it. You explode it, bring it into being, and then you expand it across the landscape. So pa and ra is explosion, and radiation. That's why it's pa, ra, or par, or per. That's what the word means. It's a vocal replication of explosion and radiation. Now, sun rises in the east and sets in the west, goes into the underworld, and then comes back and returns in the east and so forth. In the same fashion, your blood leaves the left side of the heart, is fully oxygenated or fired up through the arteries. It goes throughout the entire body and so forth, bringing oxygenated blood to all the cells and life force energy, therefore, to all the cells. That's through the arteries, is sent out. And then the veins capture the deoxygenated blood and bring it back to the right side of the heart. And once it gets back, quote unquote, home, it moves to the heart-lung complex, is revivified and purified through the fire of the energy of the lungs and the breath and so forth. That blood is reoxygenated, fired back up, and then it's sent back out through the left side of the heart. So when it's sent out through the left, that's like sunrise. Then it sets in the west, the right side of the heart, goes to the heart-lung complex, purified, fired up, and then sent out through the left, or sunrise, sunset, and so forth. That ba and bayat energy, sunrise, sunset, coming forth, setting, coming back around, that's the cycle. That's why they show the two legs coming back, returning, rebirth, and so forth. You even find in the Akan language, pere, meaning to come back around. Now, we even show that the little viper, the horned viper that's on his belly right here, when you turn it perpendicular, it's the symbol F. That is the symbol for the F, the F sound in ancient Kamit. All of the characters that make up the alphabet, the Latin alphabet and so forth, were stolen directly from the Medutu of Kamit, the hieroglyphs of Kamit. Same thing with the numeral system. Every one of them from 0, 1 through 9, stolen directly from the Medutu Toro, the hieroglyphs of ancient Kamit. So this is Ra and Ra'at, the divine living energy permeating all of creation, the great spirit, the great Ba, the great Ba'et. Now, when you take a little portion of the air that surrounds the entire planet and pull a little portion of it into your lungs, you become vitalized by that. You take a portion of the solar energy that's infused throughout the entire planet, pull some of that into your body to empower you, fire you up, and so forth. You take a portion, your Ba, your Ba'et, your spirit is a little portion of the great spirit, the great Ba and Ba'et, who is Ra, the creator, and Ra'et is the creatress. Now, the term, the symbol for the S, there are two of them, a horizontal one and a vertical one. The little horizontal boat is the S sound. The folded piece of cloth that's vertical is an S sound. They're considered causatives in the language of Kemet. So sa means to cause or make something happen. So peret means to come forth. Per, to come forth. Se, per means to cause something, se, to come forth. Per. Seper, to make to come forth. To make to come forth. Seper, the causative of per. What are you causing to come forth? When you invoke the spirits of the divinities, first and foremost, you're invoking the spirit of the creator and creatress, Ra and Ra'at. You provoke their energy and you cause the spirit to come forth, just like the solar energy comes forth and radiates and fires you up and illuminates you and empowers you and so forth, coming from the darkness. Through spirit possession, the spirits come forth. They possess, they bring illumination, they bring healing, they bring wisdom, direction, admonition, and so forth. That's what's happening. So when you engage the ritual process, seper, you're causing something to come forth. You're causing the divine living energy of Ra and Ra'at, the fire energy, solar fire energy, to come forth so you can connect. You connect your little portion of the solar energy to the divine living energy. You build a bridge of energy between your spirit and the great spirit. There's a travel across that bridge and spirit possession happens. And now you commune with the divine. This is why seperet also means prayer, petition, request. To ask, to pray, to entreat, to cause something to come forth. Seper, to cause something to come forth. What are you causing to come forth? Divine living solar fire of the creator and creatress, which is also carried in the spirit bodies of the other deities. And so you see per, to rise of the sun, solar energy. Per, splendor, to shine. Per, the appearance of a heavenly body, one of the stars and so forth. Per at, the great appearance and so forth. But per also means to come forth like produce coming forth from the ground, just like the sun, quote unquote, comes out of the ground. The produce comes out of the ground and so forth. Now, when you look at spirit, they'll say the Proto-Indo-European root sa, pai. Pai and sapai. And they'll say it means to blow, like to breathe. Spirare, to breathe. They're thinking about the air, but actually it comes from speret, seperet, the divine life force energy, fire energy within the air or atmosphere. But they think it's just sapai, to blow. And then they have related terms, spire, spike, a number of different terms, sperare. But if you look, Proto-Indo-European root, Sapai. They have pai, meaning blow, and sapai means to cause to blow. They even stole the causative from our language. We said seper to cause something to come forth, seper. They have sapai to blow, to cause something to blow. And spirare, to breathe, and so forth. So you have inspire, expire, aspire, and so forth, all of that. But peer also means to see, sight, vision, to peer into something, to see. This, the English term peer comes from that. So if you look here, pi and sepai, that is stolen from per and seper, to cause something to come forth and to cause something to come forth. And we're talking specifically not about breath, but the divine living energy in your body. Yeah, you take in solar air or air, but you take in the solar energy within the air. You breathe that in and so forth. That's what fires you up. Same thing, the divine living energy. Yeah, it comes through the atmosphere of the planet, but that solar energy gets inside of you, fires you up. The whites and offspring assume that spirit comes from sepai, and pi means fire, feist, or fizz, to blow, and therefore spirit just means breath, which is foolishness. So, and some of our people have repeated that, total foolishness. They didn't know the cosmology of per and seper being directly related to the great Ba and Bayat, the divine living fire of Ra and Ra being released, explosion, Pa, and Ra, radiation, seper. The combination of P and R, explosion and radiation, Pa and Ra, explosion and radiating the light across the landscape, and then the causative of that, seper, or sepera, that can only deal with Pa and Ra, can only deal with the explosion of fire and the radiation of the light and heat, and seper to cause that to come forth. So you also see they have seper, to turn, to wind, to turn around. When the 2 feet are walking back around, just like the sun rising in the east and setting in the west and so forth, coming back around, rear coming back around, and seper, showing the 2 legs walking to come back around. That's where they got seper, to turn, or to turn back around, or wind back around, or wrap back around, spiral, to wrap around, and so forth, spirare, to wrap around. But they don't know where it comes from. It comes from the cosmology of Ra and Ra'et, operating through the Aten and Atenit, the sun, rising in the east, setting in the west, coming back around as Seperet, to come forth once again. And so we go into detail about that. This is the seper, with the 2 legs returning or going back, to return, to wind, and so forth. And then you have the goddess Seperet Ntores, she who makes to come forth her divinity. She is a wind goddess of dawn, one of the 12 goddesses who towed the boat of Afura into the eastern sky. So she brings him back around, and her name is Seperet. She brings Ra back around to complete that process of Seperet. So that is the cosmological and etymological origin of the term spirit of Seperet. It doesn't come from pi and sepai, meaning to blow. It comes from per and seperet, to cause something to come forth. That is ritual invocation of the divine light and fire of Ra and Ra'et. And as we said earlier, no white scholar or black scholar has given this proper etymology because they didn't have the proper understanding of the cosmology that undergirds the linguistics. If you don't know the cosmology, the language doesn't make sense. In European languages, they don't have cosmology to undergird the formation of their terms. So it can just mean any random thing and it doesn't matter. In our culture, the pa, the ra, the sa, the ta, the da, the ah, the e, the o, they're all connected to divinities who have specific functions in nature. When you combine them, they represent different qualities of different deities and their functions in creation. So no word is wasted in Afurakani Afrakani language. So So let me see. Hold on a second. Okay, so I want to check out in the chat room if you were in at the beginning before the live cut off. It cut off like an hour and almost 10 minutes in when we did the first portion. So if you were there for that, let me see. So we did REKHIT, the origin of the term religion first, and then the second part we did SPERET. So it cut off after we did the religion piece. So we went through that whole thing. So if you were on for that, we did complete the whole etymology of the term religion, REKHIT. And then once we got into a little bit of the SPERET, that's when it cut off. So that's why we want to come back and finish this portion. So any questions in the chat room on any of that information, whether it's from the SPERET side or the REKHIT side, the religion side? And let me just show you right quick. So once again, this is the book. This is so for those who joined on a little bit later, I just released this book a few months ago. And what it is, you see on the back 12 different books. So it's 8.5 by 11, it's 600 pages, full color. It's an encyclopedia-sized book. It's an anthology. And this book, REKHIT hena SPERET, is in this book as well. I've published 31 books. I took 12 of the 31 books I've published and put them together in one large anthology, specifically the ones focused on true history, true historical information, cosmology, and certain things related to, economy and things like that, but related to true historical information and cosmology and our identity. So I'll put those 12 books together, and the nature of the soul and divine consciousness and ancestral religion and culture and like the Kuku Tuntum talking about Jesus never existed and Muhammad never existed and Allah and Yahweh and Buddha and Brahman and how these characters were manufactured. The Uben Sheng talking about ritual practices. The Okra complex talking about the nature of the soul, divine consciousness. The Koko Bo book talking about how dissexuality, homosexuality was never accepted in ancient Kamit and Kamit, showing the text proving that. There are a number of different things that we talk about in the text, but that book, let me put the link in the chat room right quick, is available, automatic 30% discount for our subscribers and followers. So that's the link right there. Let me I'll show you, I'll pull up the link real quick so you can see. And if you have any questions, of course, you can post them in the chat room. All right, so on our home page, on our website, you will see this. And this is the text. And you'll also see a video where we show all of the different books that are in the text so you can see which ones you'll be receiving in that volume. That's the page. That's the home page on our website. You'll see the little video. That video is on our YouTube page as well. And I'm just showing all 12 books that are comprised in this volume. And they're on the back cover as well. And we did a video going through the entire book just to show you what's in the book. But what we have special for our subscribers and followers is an automatic 30% discount. The book is on Amazon. Amazon does, take 60% off the top for booksellers. And therefore, that's why you see when people have books, they sell them on Amazon, but then they have them on their own website as well because Amazon takes 60%. And then the price has to be a little bit higher on Amazon than if you buy it directly from the author. So you buy it directly from the author from us. It's $44 plus shipping, which is $52. But when you go on the site, this link, there's an option at checkout where you can pay in 4. So when you go on the site now, you click the link. In fact, I'll put the direct square link in the chat room. Let me put that in there right now. Okay, let me put this direct link instead of going through a couple of steps. This is the direct link in the chat room right here. So that's the direct link right there, the square link. But that's, that's the same, the brown button on the page. But when you go there, when you go and see the page right here, you'll see that when you check out, you have the option of paying in 4 through Afterpay. So when you click Afterpay, they'll take the information, and you only have to pay $13 today to, order the book. And then you'll pay the other 3 $13 payments over time with Afterpay, but you can get the book originally, for the $13 down payment. And we did that because we wanted to, number one, we want to have a discount for our followers and subscribers who come directly to our page and so forth and support the work we're doing, or even people who are new to the work we're doing, we want to do that. But we also wanted to have a way to make it affordable for people. So you can go now to the page, click the link, and you'll see the $13, the option of paying $13 to get the book. One other thing that we have coming up, and I will show you what's coming up this weekend, this Sunday. Hold on a second. Okay. So we've been doing a series of group healing ritual. It's online. So we do a presentation, and then we do a group healing susu. Susu is the ancient term for meditation. Of course, meditation, susu, we originated that thousands of years before India or China or anywhere in the East and so forth. So we brought that with us when we traveled to the East and so forth. So we are on the 4th portion of our elemental asceticism series. So we're doing Asase Day, which is the earth element. Last week we did Mframa Day, which is the air element. Previous to that, we did Nsu Day, which is the water element. The first week we did Oja Day, the fire element. So we talk about the Abosum, the divinities of fire or air or earth and, water and so forth. We do the presentation based on that. And then after that, we engage in ritual susu, ritual meditation and so forth. We take people through that online, very healing, very focused and so forth. And we've been doing that for the past few weeks. So that one, Asase Day, the earth element, is this Sunday. It's going to be at 11:30. Originally it was 11 o'clock, and that's what's on the flyer, but we just switched it. It's going to be 11:30. So let me show this. So when you go to the page, you click on it, you will see, and we have a video, a short little trailer for Asase Day, talking about the earth element and what we're talking about. And you'll see the details here. The information that we're going to be discussing includes free book downloads. We send the email out for that. So when you register, you go to the site to register. And then we'll send you the link to the event, to the presentation and group ritual and so forth. Private link, open to Black people only, as all of our events are, Black exclusively. We're only going to participate in ritual with our own people. So we verify that. So that's why we have registration to determine who's who. Only our people are in. Once you register, then we will send you the link, the Zoom link, and also the link to the free book download, because we're going to be talking about the fertile earth mother divinities. Asasiya and Asasiafua. So Asasiafua is the fertile earth mother, Asasiya is the barren earth mother. In Akan and Yoruba, they're called Onile and Yewa. In ancient Kamit, they're Asasi Nebetepet and Asasi Nebetpet. So we're going to talk about these twin earth mother divinities first, how they're connected to our physical bodies and our health and stability and so forth. And then through the ritual Susu meditation, we invoke that energy to reground ourselves in a harmonious fashion so we can be more focused and be more optimal throughout the course of every day. So you go to the page, register, and then we'll send you the link and the free book download for that. Let me put that link in the chat room right quick as well. And this is, so that's our PayHip page, payhip.com/Odwirafo. And you'll see many of our products there. You'll see the book there as well. You'll see the different events we've had. And we also have upcoming. Okay, Yenny Aseda, I appreciate that comment. Gina Best, we appreciate your support. Let me show you this. Now we just put this out as well. We have 42 online courses. So we published 31 books. The OJ.Sim books makes 32, but it's an anthology. We've curated 42 online courses that go through the books, as well as a number of articles, over 100 articles we've published that are not yet in books and so forth. And 2 of those courses is the Medut Ntoro Divine Inscription Part 1 and Part 2. It's learning how to read and write the language of the Medut Ntoro, the hieroglyphs of ancient Kamit. Originally, we did these on Zoom. It's 6-week online courses. They are now archived. So the original course was $30. Now the archive version is $15. So Part 1 is a 6-week course. You get all 6 sessions, most of them like 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours, 2.5 hours each week for 6 weeks. You get all of the 6 sessions, plus you get the book, Let the Ancestors Speak. That is the book on the language and grammar of Kamit, and that's the book we're going through. It's a very detailed book about reading and writing the language, written by a brother who is now an ancestor, Ankh-Mi Ra. In fact, let me click on that just so you can see the cover of the book so you know what I'm talking about. You may have seen it before. It is out of print now, but okay. So let me scroll down so you can see. So we explained it in detail here. But this is that's the book that we're going through. Let the Ancestors Speak, removing the veil of mysticism from Medut Ntoro, which some people say Medu Neter, but a guide to the grammar of the language of Kamit. So this book is not only beginning and intermediate, text. So it's a very detailed text. So when we first did the course, we had to, in order to get through the entire book, we had to break it up into 2 courses, Part 1 and Part 2. The first one was 6 weeks. We got through the first half of the book. And then the second course was 6 weeks, and we got through the second half of the book. But each one, originally it was $30. Now it's archived, it's $15. So you can go to our page, the PayHip link that's on the screen now, and you can order the, Part 1, the $15 class, and just start self-paced study, learning the reading and writing of the language. And then we also tie you into with other free book downloads. We compare the languages of the Akan people of Ghana, Yoruba people, Igbo, and others to show the continuity of culture and so forth. So it's more in-depth than a course that some European Egyptologists would teach, and they would just teach you about, consonants and vowels and sounds and structures, but they can't tie our ancestral languages that are living and spoken today and the same words and same meanings and same deities that we invoke today amongst the Akan people, Yoruba people, and North America, hoodoo and juju and voodoo and so forth, that we invoke in ancient Kamit, we can show that cultural continuity. So our courses are different. So part 1 and part 2, we just put that up the other day. You can access that. That's 2 of our 42 online courses. When you go to our page, you'll see all 49 of our courses, or 42 of our courses. And we also have our Susu Meditation Instructor Certification 4-week online course. We also have the archived version of the course. So you can become certified as an instructor. And we've certified 57 people over the past year. So they've taken their certification. They can go to corporations, they can go to schools, they can go to human services organizations, community organizations, and so forth. Conduct a session for like a half an hour, get paid $100, $200, depending on the organization, to conduct these meditation sessions. Whether you want to do it part-time or make it a full-time endeavor, but we've credentialed people. We've been teaching and publishing on Susu, the ancient term for meditation and practice, for 20 years, been practicing for 30. But we decided to create the credentials so people don't have to go to some Hindus or some quote unquote New Age Europeans to pay $1,000 to get a certification. And you can come to our piece and you can do $39 down and $39 a month. And since you're subscribers, there's a discount, 25% discount. If you do the archived course, it's $199, but you can pay a $39 fee monthly. You will be finished within the first month because it was only a 4-week course. And when you book your first gig and get paid $100 or $200 for your first gig, that pays for you would have paid off your tuition, got the money right back. So, or you would have even paid it off before you would have only paid $39 a couple of months towards your tuition by the time you book your first gig and paid yourself back. So we want to make ours affordable, and that's why we did what we did. So, so when you look on the Pay Your page, you will see the different products. But that next Susu course, the live course, the next 4-week live course in person on Zoom, that starts Tuesday, December 16th. December 16th through January 6th, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. If you can't make it live or you prefer to do an archive version, the archive version is 50% off. Self-paced. We'll send you all 4 sessions and the book downloads. You go self-paced and study all of the information yourself. When you've completed all of that, then we schedule a Zoom so we can go over all the information and clarify everything. And then we submit your credential, your certificate to you, and you have your certificate, and you can utilize that to begin generating income for yourself while also impacting our community in a positive capacity. So when you go on the Pay Here page, you will see that, and you'll also see the archived versions of the previous sessions when we did the water element ritual meditation, the fire element. And you'll also see when we did the Achene Asase mineral totems, Achene Dria plant totems, Achene Bois animal totems, Achene Nipa human totems. That was the first 4-part series we did, ritual, group healing ritual. And then this recent one is fire, Ojade, Nsude, water element, fire element, water element. We did Mframade last Sunday, and now Asase Day, the earth element. And we will complete that series this week. And you'll also see we have our divination page if you want a reading, spiritual consultation, divination. We're scheduling for just the first couple of weeks in December. We cut it off for November, but the first couple of weeks in December for our followers. Of course, it's open to Afro-Akani people, Black people only. But if you would like to schedule divination, go to the page and you'll see the Undu or Hoodoo divination, Undu Adibisa. You can do that. Okay. any questions in the chat room before we break? And some of you may have just come on, but some of you might have been on earlier. We went through about 1 hour and 5 minutes going through the etymological origin of the term religion. We completed that, got into the first part of the etymological origin of the term spirit, and then the live cut off, and I didn't realize that it cut off until a few minutes later. So then we had to reboot and get everything back together. And then we just finished it off just now. The origin of the term spirit, etymological and cosmological origin of the term spirit. So it'll be a 2-part piece online. Okay. So any questions on any of that before we check out? Okay. So go to the Paya page. If you want to join with us Sunday, Asase Day, the Earth Element, register and we'll send you the link and the book download information. If you want to take the Susu course, meditation instructor, that starts Tuesday, unless you want to do the archived version. You can start that tonight and just self-pace. And then the Meduten Toro, learning to read and write the hieroglyphs, parts 1 and parts 2. You can try it out, try out part 1 for $15 now, see how you like that. Download the book, self-study, go through it. And then if you're ready to go to part 2, you can go to part 2. Okay. All right, just want to make sure. Oh, and on this page as well, let me see. So we had showed the other link. On the Paya page, we also have our book, the full piece plus the, the shipping and everything. So we have that on this page as well. But when you go to the square link, that's the one where you can break it up into 4 payments of $13 and order it just for $13. So that's on the Nhoma page on the website. So, all right. That's the one that we had shown earlier. And for those of you who came a little bit later, this is the link we had shown earlier for that. So if you go on the Pay Here page, it's the full regular price, $44. If you go on the our Nhoma page, which is in the description for this video, and you click on the brown button here, you'll go to the Square site. And when you check out, you can choose the option of Afterpay, which is just paying $13 to order the book today, and the other $13 payments over time. So, all right. All right, so I think that's all we wanted to share with everybody tonight. Okay, so Yarase, we thank everybody for tuning in. And Yebeshabio, we will meet again. That's it.